Here's to the dreamers, the builders, the fighters, the leaders, the people in the trenches. If y'all are tired, I promise I am too. Fewer words have been more true. Welcome to the Build Something Media Podcast. Your host is Justin Bethune.
So, Christy Chapman.
Yes.
Rec Project. So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
You gave a testimony the other day at BNI.
Yes.
Very powerful.
Okay.
And you kind of started out in one place, and it's morphed to another. So let's talk about the beginning.
Okay. The beginning, my husband and I just ended up living in the location because of some health issues that he had. And so we lived there for 3 years, and the property just came open when we finally got ourselves straightened out. And we wanted to do something for the community there. And a lot of the boys in the neighborhood had been playing basketball with us. And that was before we had fencing up and all that around the property. So we just decided to open it up as a youth sports center, kind of like a just something to add on to my gym. This location was my previous gym location. So I moved the gym, opened up the rec center, thinking it would be more sports focused, athletic program kind of thing. But it's definitely turned out to be much more than that. So
Yeah. So more from being a rec center to where are we at now?
Well, it's still the rec center, so it's a safe haven. Any kids that come in the afternoons are welcome from 2:30 to 6. We're just offer hot meals and stuff like that. So it's still the rec center aspect, but we're really serving the homeless community a lot more than I ever expected that we would.
Yeah.
And we just kind of help these families, these individuals, whoever comes to me, whoever shows up, wherever they are in their life and their position. I just try to help them get to that next level. It not just me, but lots of volunteers. I pull in a lot of other organizations just to help them to have a better life.
Yeah. And if you want to talk about it, I know you have a very personal connection to the Rec Project.
Yes.
And the reason why you started it. And if you want to share that, if you don't want to, you don't have to either.
Yeah.
But,
You're trying to get me emotional again.
hey, emotion is the thing that connects people with what it is that you need help with, right?
Yeah, for sure. I've got several reasons, I guess. My background was growing up in East Ridge. My father left my mother at a very young age and left us in a very real situations. We were without power and water sometimes. We had to walk to the local hotels. That's where she worked and provided care for us. We actually went and helped her clean the rooms and stuff like that. But I just, seeing what these kids go through, going through it myself, I'm just trying to help them get off the streets, get out of these situations. I've connected with them just because I can see my life in their life. And I want to see them progress and do better and have all the happy days. The rec to me is just a happy place. Like, the less serious things we can do, the better.
Right.
It's all about fun. It's all about, there's no schedule. Like, we really just hang from the ceilings, bounce off the walls, and have a good time. And I just want to be that safe haven for anyone who can come off the street, and they don't even have to ask for help. You can see these people and you know that they need it. They just need a friend sometimes. They need someone to listen to. They need a hot meal. They need a shower. They need to do their laundry. These families are, we tend to get in these situations where we judge people. I'm not in a place where I can judge these people. I've been in their situation.
Yep.
And so I take myself out of the judgment seat and I put myself in their shoes. And I try to, each person that comes in, I'm like, what's going to make their day better? What's going to make their week better? They may come in and not have an ID. Some of them have lost homes to fires. Some of them are drug addicts. And I try to hook them up with members in the community that can help them get past those obstacles.
Yeah. Yeah, I like I told you, I have a personal connection with what you're doing, just because two of my kids are adopted.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they come from parents who were heavily addicted to a lot of different drugs, and one of whom was part of my family. And it really it has a rippling effect.
Absolutely.
That goes not just to the people who are directly dealing with it, but the kids and their parents and their grandparents and the whole family.
Absolutely.
Feels an effect, and they have to end up carrying some of that additional burden, or they don't.
Right.
And then there are people who take on the full effect of those consequences, and that's it's scary.
It is scary.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I still see some of it, even though when we got our daughter, I mean, she was almost starved to death.
Yes.
And so you still see some of the deficiencies that she dealt with that first year of her life. I mean, I've never seen a child who just, if there's food, she wants to eat it. And so there's like a you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I've got so many kids. Better situations now. I've been at this for almost 3 years now. And so I've had food insecurities like you wouldn't believe. The kids come in, and they still do it sometimes. They will stuff their pockets with food. They will hide it in their bags. They will sneak into the pantry every chance they get. They're not stealing money. They're not stealing anything important but a meal. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, anyway, so I've broken a lot of those habits of trying to break those food insecurities. The pantry is open to them. They can get snacks. They can get whatever they want from me.
Yeah.
And we provide a hot meal 4 days a week. And, I mean, they can literally just walk in my door at any time and meet those food needs.
Yeah. No. And that's awesome. Because I dealt with that for a period of time as a kid too. I mean, it's what do you do as a kid except try to figure it out?
Exactly.
And so
you stuff your pockets.
You stuff your pockets with cookies. Yeah, no, for real. You go to church so you can have pizza once a week.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's
yes.
You find ways to and then because of that you meet people who can lift you up like you're trying to do, and like, whoa,
Falling apart.
Whoops. It's okay. That one's not recording through that hard drive, so it'll be okay. But yeah, no, but it's exactly that. It's, you go to these places that do give you some encouragement and show you that there is an alternative to the place that you're currently at, even if it doesn't seem like there is no light there.
Yep.
Yeah. So no, I think it's great. So let's talk about how people can help. I know that right now you can't get federal grants because you have to exist for 36 months before
Correct.
You're able to apply for and receive those grants.
Yeah.
And so you're almost entirely dependent on donations.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So let's talk about that.
Okay, we have applied for every grant we can possibly apply for now. The problem is there's so many nonprofits in our area that are applying for the same grants, and they know someone that I don't know,
Right.
and so they're going to get approved. Or it's really hard to get your name out there, so I can use help with anything, paying the electric bill, the water bill. It costs me about $3,300 a month out of pocket before I offer any services, and that's just for insurances, taxes, the mortgage on the building, that kind of thing. And the community has been amazing. Like, I've really had so much community support so far. People put me on auto pays and give me $25 a month. People have their companies will write us a check for $2,500. People will drop off supplies, snacks, food, toiletries, feminine products, anything like that would definitely helps go a long way in the community. Everything that we get goes straight back into the community. We haven't had to pay any payroll out yet. I don't pay myself. Everything is volunteer services. So if a family comes in and they don't have a room, I try to supply at least a week or two until they can get back on their feet, or I hook them up with someone who in Chattanooga can help them get housing. We've got grandparents that have custody of 6 grandchildren. It's completely out of their hands, but these individuals should be retired themselves.
Yep.
And taking care of 6 kids in a hotel room is insane. And so, those are some of the things that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, is just finding housing for them. So any of those kinds of connections, because the housing market's insane. I've had a blind guy living on my couch for a year and a half because I can't find him housing.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's crazy.
It is. No, and that's the unfortunately kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay, so where can people go to donate?
Yes, the Rec Project website, recprojectinc.com. We've got PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. You can just send a check in the mail. We got a P.O. Box 9867, Eastridge, Tennessee. Those come straight to us and go straight out to the community.
How can other people help? What kind of professional services, people who can come teach classes, train, items that you may like somebody to buy for the Rec Project?
Sure.
What do you need now?
Well, we need playground equipment is my biggest issue. We go through it so fast. We have so many kids come through. A lot of them haven't really been taught to respect property or anything like that yet, so we're working on a lot of those issues. Any repair people that can come in and do drywall patches. I had a rough bunch come through about a year ago, and they just had not been taught anything. So I've got holes in the walls that I'm repairing and just stuff like that. Playground equipment, snacks, drinks, hot meals are a big thing. Sometimes it's just me with several kids, and I'm trying to hoard everyone and cook dinner and all that good stuff. So if a meal doesn't show up, I'll go into the pantry and prepare what I've got there on hand. So we can get meats for the freezer, so many things.
Yeah, no, that's you're helping people support themselves, and it takes a lot to support a human being. So when you really start breaking it down and looking at all the line items, right?
It really does. And so another thing with volunteers goes, I need tutors. I need people who can just come in, and it doesn't have to be every week or even every other week. Come in once a month and spend an hour and just give some advice to a kid that you see needs it. Play ball with them or play pool. We've got so many games and so many things, but I'm limited to what I can do without being able to pay someone. Because like you said, so far I haven't been able to get any major funding for those kinds of projects.
Yeah. I like to say I'm asking you to lend a hand, not an arm.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, no, this is a great conversation. We're going to have another short conversation about something else after this that I have to cut out of the podcast that I had a conversation with someone else about yesterday.
Okay.
And so I think you'll like this. But yeah, thank you, Christy Chapman, for joining us joining us. I'm used to Justin being here, but he had to go to Nashville to pick up materials for a job for a couple of crawl spaces that we're installing. So thank you for being with me today on the Build Something Media podcast. We hope to have you back soon. We're going to do some cool stuff here in the next few months together.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. All right.